Yeah, so market structure and Telegram and their news based. Probably you should see this well. So this is and what we'll be treating break of market structure, right? So break of market structure, right? So break of market structure is simply price continuations, right? When price tends to give you continuation patterns, right? If you are in an uptrend, when price tells you that this trend will continue, should I say, the uptrend is still to go on, right? And if you are in a downtrend, simply tells you that the downtrend is simply to continue moving on, right? Yeah, so it's a continuation pattern. Yeah, break of market structure. So bringing the break of market structure to your charts, hide. How the fuck can I mute this thing? Okay, so bringing the break of market structure to your charts, just like other aspects, like your higher highs and higher lows. But now, in break of market structure, you could see that at every high, one high is higher than the other high is lower than the other, right? Yeah, so this high is obviously higher than this high, right? And what occurred at this point was that price broke out of this high to create a new higher high, right? So, and as price continues to break previous high to create another high, that is newly formed high, right? Price is forming a BOS, right? At all these points, BOS is present, right? So as price keeps on breaking highs to continue the trend. Remember, price is breaking high to continue the uptrend, right? We are breaking highs. You have your lower high, your higher low, right? Yeah, so your higher high like that. So, but then this these highs for trend to continue, right? For this uptrend to continue, we must have a break of highs. Highs must be broken, right? So this previous high, these highs tend to be broken, and you tag these spots where the high tends to be broken as the BOS, right? Your BOS on your charts, your BOS in the charts, right? So, and if you look at one similar things on this chart, after price broke out of this high, right? After price took out, if I'm to mark it, let me mark it this way. After price took out this, how can I mute Telegram from interfering? Simply by cutting it off. Okay, so these highs are being broken, right? So price breaks them to form a newly high, right? Now let me tag this as your old high. That is, I don't want to use the word swing high and swing low. In our next section, then I will start using the word swing high and swing low. Then it will get a bit advanced, right here. So this is your old high, right? And for us to continue this uptrend, a new high needs to be formed for price to continue creating should I say an increase, right? This is your high. For us to bring in more uptrend, right? We need to break high, and the more we break high, the more larger in percentage all of these things will be, right? Yeah, so that is the case for this uptrend break. We broke high here, created a newly formed high, right? We had a newly formed high at this point, right? And to continue an uptrend, we must be breaking highs, right? And we broke another high at this point, right? Price broke this high. If I'm to mark it here, the breaking occurred at this point, but then don't go and mark it like this if you have to show me on your chart. Yeah, don't mark it. Price broke this high at this point, so we took out this high, took out this high. This is your BOS on the chart, BOS clone. So this is your BOS, right? when marking your chart, please make it neat so you will get to understand, like it will be dead as clear to you to grasp. Yeah, so try to make your chart neat. Yeah. So this is your BOS on the chart for an uptrend, right? A bullish market cycle, right? So this is your uptrend, and that is the BOS for the uptrend market. So coming to the downtrend, okay. Coming to the downtrend, the reverse is the case, right? The reverse is the case for a downtrend structure. The reverse is the case. Okay, let me tag this thing. You know that this is your higher low, right? Your higher high, your higher low, your higher high, your higher low, your higher high, your higher low, or you call it your lower high, right? Yeah, so anyone you call it, right? Yeah, so my network just got stopped. Some minutes. So I trust you guys can hear me now. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I made a mistake here. So who can hear me indicate? Let me know. Okay, yeah, everyone can hear me. So this is your higher low, right? In the downtrend, that is when you hear from lower high. But then this is your higher low, and this is your higher high, right? This is your higher high at this point. And in that higher high, we had a break that occurred at that point, right? We had a break of market structure that occurred at that point, where price tends to form a newly high at this point. We formed a new high, we created a higher low, right? This is another higher high. We broke this higher high, right? The break of market structure occurred. You mark them this way, your break of market structure, right? After breaking the structure, we formed a new high, right? A new low. We break the structure. This is your low, this is your high, right? So as we breaking structure, if I'm to explain swing highs and swing lows, this will be your swing high and this will be your swing low. But then I don't want to use the term swing highs and low for today's section. So this is your higher low, right? This is your higher high. So this is your higher high, your higher low. The more we keep breaking structures, the more higher highs and higher lows will be forming in an uptrend. So bringing the reverse for a downtrend structure. In a downtrend, price forms lower highs and lower lows. Lower highs and lower lows. Lower highs and lower lows. So lower highs and lower lows, and then your BOS occurs at their lower low, right? Remember, if you should, okay, let me mark this thing. No. Okay, so for this structure here now, right? This is a downtrend structure, and we have our high here. This is your high. This is your lower low, right? Your lower high, your lower low, your lower high, your lower low. And in the break of market structure in a downtrend, in price downtrends occurs at their lower lows, right? Where price tends to be breaking lows. As new lows are formed, the downtrend continues. As new lows are formed, you could see here we broke this low, we continue the downtrend, right? We break this low, right? This low keeps, as the low keeps on breaking, right? The continuation in downtrend, right? Yeah, so the downtrend continues. So break of market structure, it indicates, right? It indicates price continuation, right? So when we move to change of character indicates price reversals. Yeah, BOS indicates continuation in price. So you have your BOS at this point, a break of market structure at this point. The more price keeps on breaking lows, right? As price keeps on breaking lows, the more we'll be having the downtrend, the more the downtrend will continue forming, right? But then anytime we start forming new lows and we tend to form a new high, right? Price will start reversing. But then I won't go into that tonight here. So I just want to show you the structure of your higher highs and higher lows and your BOS, right? So this is the break of market structure at this point. The break of market structure for a downtrend structure, the break of market structure occurs in the lower low. While for an uptrend structure, the break of market structure occurs in the higher high, right? So the break of market structure for a downtrend structure occurs in their lower low, right? So, and for this one, the break of market structure occurs in their, and for this one, the break of market structure occurs in the higher high, right? So this is a downtrend structure formation, and the latter is the uptrend. So this is the BOS of both trend, uptrend and downtrend, right? So this is your downtrend, right? A downtrend. So moving to your charts, right? Applying the same concept of BOS. So let's dive into the charts. Look at the basic BOS. So going to your charts, I could spot as much as I can see, right? Remember, what indicator did I just click on? So always remember that in the charts, your BOS will be at the for a downtrend structure, the BOS will be in their lower lows, right? As you're spotting those price lower lows, that is where the BOS occurred, right? So price will keep on breaking lows for a downtrend. And for the uptrend, price will keep on breaking highs to form a new BOS, right here. So like what we have here, we break a previous high to form a new high. This new high now we get to break when broken, right? To form another high. And all of these should I say broken highs to mark them as a BOS. Yeah. So let's dive into the chart. And okay, the chart is not that clear, but if you should, don't expect something like how I used to draw. Don't expect plain fine structure like this on the chart. So with these things now, you could see your BOS, but then these BOS here, they are poor ones. Yeah, so I need something. Okay, yeah, I like what I see here. So now let's mark our BOS on the charts, right? So this is the high here. Sorry, this is your low here, right? So this is your high, right? Your lower high, your higher low, sorry, your higher low, right? So your BOS occurred at this point. If I should keep on marking all of this, I just want to mark significant highs and lows. I don't want to be marking all these tiny highs and lows. I want to be marking significant. You mark them, don't stress your eye. As if you just go to your chart and you happen to be shrinking your eye to see them, no, don't go for that. Just go for the ones that once you just open your charts, you tend to see them very clear. Don't force your eye to see what you're not seeing. Yeah, so right now I can't be forcing to be marking all these things here as a BOS. No, I won't do that. Since you're in a higher time frame structure, I'll be marking significant highs and lows, right? Like this one, new high was broken at this point. This is your BOS at this point, your higher low, right? So a new high was formed there. A new high was formed there, right? Your higher low, a higher high, right? So your BOS for an uptrend structure will be in a higher high, right? So you are seeing what I'm marking. Here will be your BOS. Let me tagging them along. Your BOS top clone. So your BOS at this point, you can choose to draw them out, but then don't draw them out. So just mark them. The marking is to show that this thing break, the candlestick breaks everything, but then you can choose to adjust it here since you know what you are doing here. So we had another break of market structure at this point, right? A newly formed high was created. Significant highs alone, yeah. Don't try to force any high, like don't force anything. If you cannot see it, then you have to work more to like once you just open your charts, you can see them. But then anyone you cannot see, don't try to force them, force anything. Or a high was broken. If I should draw this thing right, this high was taken out, and we had a newly formed high at this point. A new high was formed, but this high didn't break well. But then this is a new high, right? A BOS. So as price keeps creating higher highs and higher lows, those higher highs, you'll be marking them as your BOS, right here. So we broke structure at this point. We broke structure at this point, and we are yet to break structure from this point. So another BOS occurred at this point in price. BOS occurred at this point before we deviated from an uptrend to a downtrend. So we had your BOS here, first BOS, second, right, your third BOS at this point. You could see I marked them very how I mark them easily. They are too easy for me to see on the chart. So when trying to spot and break a market structure in your chart, first of all, identify your highs and lows, right? Identify your higher highs and your higher lows in the chart. You mustn't, please, as you're trying to become, should I say, an analyst before you turn to a trader, don't go and be marking the higher highs on your chart. Just try to make your chart as neat as possible in your markings, right? Yeah, so you should be able to train your eyesight. That's that when you come to the chart, at least you can see those higher highs and higher lows without having to map them out on your chart. But then if you are a slow learner, yeah, you can be mapping them until you tend to grasp them one time. So these are your BOS at a point where price break structure. So now if you are to look at one thing here, what happened at every time price broke structure is you couldn't hear me. So when price breaks structure, right? So if you are to observe at this point, anytime price breaks structure, the trend tends to, the price tends to push higher, right? As we break structure, we go higher in price. As we break structure, we go higher in price. As we break structure, we go higher in price. As we break structure, we go higher in price. And what's happened when we don't break another high? Price starts to deviate from an uptrend to a downtrend, right? We couldn't break, okay, we had a minor break here, but then after this break, right? After this break, what happened? We weren't able to break a new high here. We weren't able to break this high, and we started breaking lows. We called for downtrend. So now at this point, you mark this thing as your high. This is your high, right? This is your high. More of like marking higher highs and higher lows. This is your high, right? So this is your high, and we started breaking lows. Price started creating lower lows, right? We started breaking lows and we called for a downtrend. So whenever price stops creating higher highs, right? Price start deviating from an uptrend to a downtrend, like what we happened there. There was no BOS at this point, and what the price did, price started breaking lows, right? We started changing the trend. So you had your BOS at this point, BOS bottom. 10 minutes, I'll be hosting a new section. You had your BOS at this point, another BOS at this point, right? Tomorrow, okay, in the next section, I will go for BOS with candlestick, and I don't know when will be suitable for that. When price break structure with wick, and when price break structure with body, right? But then let's just finish this one. So after tonight's section, I'll give you guys assignments that you should submit as early as you can. So that will determine the rate of which of the BOS topic. Like BOS, inside BOS, there are several things I should look into them. So based on your work rate, we determine if I should proceed or I should recap on this. Yeah, so we had a new BOS here. Remember, mark something very obvious, right? So don't force it. We had another BOS at this point, another BOS at this point. We kept on breaking lows. For a downtrend, you mark your BOS at the lower lows, right? Your BOS will be at the lower lows. Okay, and let's say I promise to get a premium trading view. Let's say we were here on the charts, right? Probably we weren't able to break this low. Okay, we broke this low. We weren't able to break this low that early, right? That early before we weren't able to break this low that early. And what the price did after creating this low, we tried to deviate from this downtrend, right? Before price broke here. And as price broke this low, here is also your valid BOS, right? So here is your BOS also. Your BOS, you had another BOS at this point. You had your BOS at this point, right? Loan. Another BOS at this point. And recall, whenever we stop creating this thing, whenever we stop breaking lows, what happens? We deviate from a downtrend to an uptrend. So we had another BOS at this point. So if you are to look at all these BOS, the more we keep breaking lows, the lower we go. Same thing as the highs. The more we keep breaking highs, the higher we go in price, right? And for the lows, the more we keep breaking lows, the lower price tends to continue. And then when we stop breaking lows, price tries to deviate from a downtrend to an uptrend. We start to reverse, yeah. So, but in this scenario, we are still breaking lows. We are still breaking lows, right? This is a BOS. We are in a pure downtrend here. The major structure is, you are looking at the major structure, not all these fractal formations here, where you see higher highs and higher lows. We are not looking at this BOS at this point. We are looking at the major structure, right? We are looking at the major price structure. So you had your BOS at this point, and as we keep breaking lows, price keeps dropping. As you keep breaking lows, price keeps dropping. As we keep breaking lows, price keeps dropping. So in this case now, we weren't able to break this low at this point. We weren't able to break this low at this point. So what happened? We started breaking highs. Price reversed from if okay, let me then show you the change of price. Price reversed, right? As we didn't break another low, we then reversed, right? We deviated from that downtrend now. We started forming an uptrend formation, right? We reversed from that downtrend. We started reversing from the downtrend to form a new trend, which is the uptrend. Now, in this scenario, we started breaking highs, right? New highs are being broken. New highs are being broken, right? So this one, new highs are being broken. But this is a full fractal structure, because from Suzuma's, we've currently broke everything. So let's just take that as a fractal structure. Yeah, I will skip that thing. So let's continue to our BOS. So we kept on breaking lows. As the more we keep on breaking lows, the lower we go in price. The more price keeps on breaking lows, the lower we go in price. Okay, now the nice scenario is this case. Let me mark the last BOS for you. The last break of low for you. So this is your BOS here. And this is the last point. Price broke a low, right? A significant break. Okay, you had one here too. You had one here. Yeah, you had one, a significant break. So as price failed to break this high, sorry, this low here, as price failed to break this low, what happened? We reversed. You could see that price didn't break this low here, unlike how it has been breaking, because if it has broken this low, we may keep on breaking lows, and the more we keep on breaking lows, the lower we go in price, right? So, and here now we failed to break this low, so price reversed, and we started creating BOS for an uptrend, right? Yeah, price started breaking highs. Your BOS, another BOS at this point. How many minutes left for this Zoom? 3 minutes. So I'll be ending this here and I will be sending another Zoom link. Yeah, so your BOS at this point, another BOS at this point, right? I'm marking significant levels in charts, significant swing level years in chart. I'm not looking at those minor structures formed inside of them. So we had another BOS here, and here we failed to break another. Okay, we had another BOS here, right? We had a BOS here, and here we failed to break. We failed to break a high. What happened? We started breaking lows. We didn't break a high here, right? What happened? We started breaking lows. We broke our low. A minor low was taken out here, right? We kept on breaking lows. We broke another low, right? Another low was taken out. So when price fails to create a higher high, we tend to create a lower high. And when you start seeing this lower high, you know that the trend is trying to deviate from that uptrend to a downtrend, just like what we have here now. No higher high was created, and what happened next? We started breaking lows for a downtrend structure. Yeah, so now we've been breaking lows. Several lows has been breaking, right? So a new low here was taken out. Low was taken out. And if I'm to zoom this thing, what happened when we failed to break this low? We started breaking highs. As we didn't break this low, right? What happened? Price started breaking highs. We had our first high break. First high break at this point. Look at my trade. Crazy. So we broke our high here, right? Another high was taken at this point. Another high was taken at this point. Another high was taken at this point. And now this is a high. This is a high. So what will determine if this trend will continue is when we break this high, and this high is actually a supply zone. Yeah. So, but then what will determine if this trend will continue breaking highs is if we take out this high. If we take out this high, then we keep on forming, we form another newly high. But then if we cannot take out this high, right, we are likely to go lower, right? Yeah. So, and we have a scenario where price will break this high and may not want to break another high, and then we start dropping, right? And for a drop, when we stop dropping and start creating another high, what happens? We start reversing. So ending less than 1 minute, I'll be sending another link. End.